I'm Andrew,
And I'm Christian.
and welcome to the Brain Rack, episode 5 on software. This time we're going to be talking about our own personal preferences.
All right.
So, do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I can.
You can go first? Okay.
Yeah. So for phones, my actually kind of an interesting thing is my personal preference on phones is actually an internet-based phone versus a cellular network phone. I use a software called Google Voice, and it's actually pretty nice because it's a free, as of right now of this recording, it's a free service that you can call anyone in the U.S. for free. And outside of the U.S., it has a little bit of a charge. But U.S. calls are pretty nicely free.
Nicely free. Not just free, just nicely free.
Oh, yeah.
Because most of our friends are in the U.S.
Yeah. That's why it's nicely free.
Nicely free.
I don't have a lot of friends outside of the U.S., and if I start moving or start traveling, which I do want to start doing, I think that'd be kind of fun. Do one in London, maybe an episode in London.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be
Not
crazy.
just crazy, awesome,
crazy,
crazy
awesome.
awesome, yeah.
Crazy awesome.
Anyways, all right, so with that, and then my track phone, as you were saying in last episode of software, this is a track phone, and I pay basically $100 a year.
Even that.
Once I start.
little over $100 a year.
Well, with my Walmart discount, it is $100.
Oh, right. Right.
So it's basically like $9 a month, 9 or so, close to 10 if you factor in tax for the average buyer.
But either way, very cheap.
Now, granted, you only get 1,200 minutes and 1,200 texts with this particular phone. Anyways, this is becoming a advertisement. Anyways, so that's why I prefer the online versus cellular. This is cellular, but I'm going to basically be using it as a
web-based phone?
No, well, yes, web-based, but I was trying to think of the term. It's like a PDA, a pager.
A pager.
Yeah, I'm going to be using it like an old-school pager, using the texts. And whenever somebody texts me, it'll really let me know and stuff like that.
Okay, so that's your phone preference.
Yes.
Now, have you used enough tablets to have a tablet preference?
How about we go with your phone preference first?
My phone preference?
So we don't get too far in.
Okay, phone preference. I really enjoy the HTC builds.
Okay.
With their recent M8s and M9s, they look really good. I know people who own the M8 and M9, but what I have is the M7.
Kind of funny, because at his place of work, there's a M8 user, M7 user, him, and an M9 user.
I prefer this M7 because I can stretch my thumb across the whole screen, and it's not too out of date. Also, it's, as I said in the last episode, it is KitKat operating system 4.4.2. Really sleek, really nice, a really good phone. I got this one for a good price for somebody who need it. And then as far as my service goes, I'm through Straight Talk, which is a Walmart-based company.
No, it's a track phone based.
It's a track phone based company which uses like the same servers of the major.
Yep. His is, I believe,
either through Verizon or AT&T, but wherever I go, I get really good signal. So, but the HTC phone that I have is really good. Oh, he's gonna look into it.
While he's talking.
What was I saying? HTC phone with KitKat, Android. I prefer the Android because the layout is nice and it's familiar. The customization, all sorts of themes you can get through HTC or through different applications through the Google Play Store.
AT&T.
AT&T.
Yep.
All right. So all those different reasons, customization mostly.
Yep.
It says more about me
For me, I would say going back to the phone customization or phone preference, I would probably I don't really have a preference phone build wise, though I would probably say HTC is one of my favorites.
Hmm.
Samsung has been high on my list, except for
Yeah.
the latest 6,
Yeah.
S6. And the reason for that is because they took out the removable battery and the SD card.
Right. Which we want to build is like a expandable storage is really nice,
Yep.
and having a replaceable battery is really nice too.
Yeah.
Why they took that out, I'm not sure. Maybe they're just trying to prove, hey, with our new battery and with our new system storage,
Yeah,
know,
because
we
it
can.
does give you 32 gigs
Hmm.
without expandable storage. And before it was 4 gigs with expandable storage. So they did go up in that.
Hmm.
I
But
would
but it is more pricey.
It
Um,
is, and I kind of want to be able to put in my own stuff,
Right.
like have a chip. Like, here's a movie chip. Oh, I want music chip. Oh, I want this instead,
Well,
picture
this is
chip.
a picture chip. And easy in and out access of
Yeah.
all your different content
And
with
you
your
can
phone.
organize it a little better physically versus just software-wise.
Yeah.
And
So-
I like that personally.
So that basically covers phones for both of us.
Yep.
Um,
I did more software-based personalization versus hardware. You went
Sure.
straight into the hardware.
yeah, I really like the build of the HTC. Very solid phones.
Yeah, I actually also have a HTC phone. Funny thing is, I have 4 phones right now. This is the one I'm carrying around right now. I have an HTC 3D HD 8 camera phone, which I like. I was the 4th owner of it, or I am the 4th owner of it, and it still works really well. It takes 3D pictures, and it's awesome. But I will say that there is going to hopefully be a new phone coming out called the Spiral 3. If you want to know more about that, look it up or leave a comment in the notes below.
And kind of inform us because we're open to discussion.
Yep. And
Basically what the
I've
show's
basically
about.
what?
It's basically what the show's about.
Exactly. It'd be kind of fun if somebody actually uploaded a video in relation to this video or these videos.
It is. It's got a video reply.
Yeah. I'm just saying it'd be kind of cool if somebody actually did that. Did a video reply to our videos, and then we start communicating with different people that way. Anyways, that's just a thought. Anyways,
So we covered phones.
yes.
Now to tablets, which is
Okay.
kind of the bigger
Of a phone.
of a phone, not a computer, but not a phone.
Well,
Kind of a happy
technically
medium.
they're all computers.
Right. It's not a laptop or a desktop.
Yes.
It's not a
The
phone. It's a
levels-
happy medium.
Yeah, the levels of them are basically power first, desktop, laptop, tablet, phone.
Sure. So when it comes to your preference of a tablet, do you have one?
Anything that really works well.
Anything that works well?
That's about the only thing that. Those are basically my preferences on almost all computer related stuff. Basically, whatever has a large, like a higher gigabyte with more cores, processor, higher milliamp in the battery storage, stuff like that. So
Right.
I don't really have a specific preference in them. I would use the iPad if I really had to. Don't really mind it at that.
Sure.
So it's just whichever one is
More
really accessible and stuff like that. But I would say if I had to pick one, it would probably be the Surface Pro series, Surface Pro
see.
3. That's the next one that I want to get for a
Nice.
tablet.
Nice. I haven't really used tablets that much. I think the only tablet I've used the most would probably be my girlfriend's iPad.
Okay.
Um,
I've
I
used
mean,
my
that's-
mother's iPad. I have friends who have iPads. I have a friend who has the Surface Pro 2. And I have an Android. So I've used Windows-based, I've used Android-based, and I've used iPhone-based.
yeah, all the different all the different
OSs.
all the major operating systems out there. Yeah.
Yep.
I would have to say the same for me though. Your tablet's really nice.
I like it.
Yeah, it was a tablet that was actually based around a mechanical pen.
Yep,
that you
and I
used
lost
in
the
it.
pen.
So he just has a tablet now.
Yep. I bought it for the pencil. I lost a pencil. Now it's a regular tablet.
Hmm.
Anyways, I could buy another one for like $35, but I don't really want to spend that much. So I just keep it as a normal tablet.
The computer now.
Yes. Laptops. Let's just
Laptops.
go from the least powerful to the most powerful.
Starting with laptops.
I'll go with that one.
Yeah.
For me, actually, I've kind of already covered it. Basically, whatever is the best stuff.
Sure.
I build my own computers, so I know what's in them. I don't really like going with the pre-built.
Sure. Sure. But as for me, the pre-built's nice for me because it saves time on having me put it together. And even though I may not know as much to really put it together, I could always get help.
Like for me or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I didn't know what I was doing when I built it, so I had help.
Mm-hmm. But what I have is an Alienware 14 model, which is powerful enough to run games pretty smoothly and do all the
Yep.
different things as a normal laptop. But it's
Do you know
just
the
more.
specs?
The specs. It has an 8 gigabyte RAM, an Intel iCore i7.
Not to be confused with the Apple stuff.
Yeah, it's Windows 7 Professional operating system, but I got a reservation for Windows 10 to be put on there.
Nice.
I'm hoping that when Windows 10 gets put on there, all my softwares don't mistake it as a new machine, you know?
Yeah, that would be bad.
But hopefully all my Steam stuff is saved and my malware bytes are still good.
Back it up just in case.
Yeah, but that's what backups are for.
Uh-huh.
And so with that, I got about 700 gigs of internal storage, was pretty good. And then I
Not
also
bad.
have an additional external terabyte hard drive, which is portable.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. So I can back up quite a few things pretty easily.
Sweet. My previous power computer was a laptop, and I enjoyed it because it had a lot of stuff for it. But the charging cord got destroyed, so I couldn't really, well, not cord, the port got destroyed, and it would have cost me like $150 to replace it. So I decided just to go without a laptop for a while.
Sure.
Or at least with a low power one.
That was that Acer laptop you had.
Yep.
That had really nice speakers
Yep.
on it, and the laptop I had like before that was that red Acer one I bought as
Yeah.
a hand-me-down, and it worked pretty well through my high school and first year of college. But eventually it would just like lock up and just shut down on me.
Yeah.
I figured, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and just buy a different computer, and so I did.
Yeah.
But now on to
So we do that in the next episode
well, let's
because of the time.
well, why don't we just quickly cover desktops?
Because I wanted to go into my build a little bit with that whenever I do mine.
Oh, sure.
So that's why I wanted to.
How about we take it like on the field and you can actually show your builds as a on the
fly?
on the fly.
Okay, so we'll do a on-the-fly outside episode whenever we do the next episode on OS, on the software, I guess you could say.
Sure.
So, yeah, thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk with you next time. Have a great one.